There it is. It is live. Oh wow, it was live the whole time. All right, well, still trying to figure it out, guys. Well, I'll just start off again. Prepare yourself, guys. Chris with T3 Medias, and I'm sorry about that confusion. See, I didn't have the headphones on. I probably should have did that. Let me just do it so I don't have any more idiot, delays. And yeah, yeah. Just double checking. Um, since I was live the whole time, you just saw me doing was just like, huh? What's going on? Well, I had a lot of fun yesterday, so I'm still trying to catch up with all that. I was supposed to go live like an hour ago, but all the prep work and everything, trying to get everything started because of the review that we did yesterday. I had a lot of fun. We saw Glass, and I'll get to that a little later. And there's an announcement coming up in a second, but I want to just start off with what's trending right now. Just kind of get everything going with what is out in the news right now. So, and everything, they always say every good thing, all good things, and well, everything that's good or bad that happens, it always happens in three. So now I feel like this is a good situation. That the best things in life that comes in threes, and all three of them hit. Like two of them hit yesterday, and then it finally hit the third one today. And I was excited to get started with the news on that. So right off the jump, I want to talk about Bad Boys 3. So it was already rumored that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence were going to be doing Bad Boys 3, and they finally announced it. I think Will Smith announced it on his Twitter. I want to say it was Twitter where he announced that they were filming. They're in Atlanta, and from what I heard from the movie news around there, there's a lot of backed up traffic and whatnot in one scene that they were working on. And it was causing a lot of who knows what kind of mess Will Smith and when Martin Lawrence are on the scene, and with you got Michael Bay out there blowing stuff up. Who knows what was happening, right? But I don't have any news to report on that. I don't have any footage or anything to report on that stuff. I'm just happy to hear on an official outlet that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are actually out and about, doing their thing. So the interesting thing about this is that it took so long, and if Will Smith had been doing so many other projects, that it just kind of came out of nowhere. It was always rumored that Michael Bay and has finally had some time to sit down with Smith and Lawrence to finally get this off the ground. And after everything that I'm seeing, I think this should probably be the last one. I don't know. There's a lot of talk about a third and a fourth one. Who knows if that's going to happen? It all depends on how well this one does. But I'm excited about it, and I'm sure it's going to crush at the box office, and Will Smith is still a huge draw. Everybody's been wanting a part 3 for the longest. I'm still surprised that they didn't do a back-to-back sequels. This could have been in the void of what the Fast and the Furious franchise filled up. I really believe that it was because of that void that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence left, and Michael Bay left, because he moved on to bigger things. He's had a lot of projects juggling around at the same time. You can't blame him for striking while the iron is hot. I think this could have been, if he would have stepped to the side and let other directors get involved, and he just played up executive producer, especially after the sequel. I think that this could have filled that void that the Fast and the Furious Universal saw was left open, and they just struck while the iron is hot. They transformed themselves, no pun intended, and kind of got right there and saw an opportunity. And I feel like that was an opportunity missed for Michael Bay. But hey, we're getting the third one, so I'm happy to see that. Also, who knew if this was true or not? But it looked like it's finally happened. You get Dan Aykroyd. He goes on the internet all the time, and he's rambling like a crazy person about the sequel to the Ghostbusters franchise. It was rumored that they were going to do a Ghostbusters on an alternative universe or an alternative timeline where all these universes and whatnot were going to meet up. Who knows what Dan Aykroyd was really talking about? He was just rambling on like a crazy person, man. I'm surprised he isn't president. But he just went on and on and on and on and on. It was just crazy. And then finally, it looked like there's some truth to it. Looks like we got a little teaser. You got Ecto 1. Sony finally released some official. Sony's crushing it right now, man. And I'll get into a little bit why later on. But it looks like things are happening. The whole Men in Black and what was the other crossover? 21 Jump Street thing didn't happen. I think they were talking about doing something with Ghostbusters in that realm as well. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows, man? Sony's involved, so let's see what happens with that. And the last thing, I guess the third thing to talk about that finally happened was the whole hoopla, I guess, that happened like this morning. This is another reason why I was late to the party, was that we had a drop of a John Wick 3 Chapter 3 trailer. John Wick Chapter 3. I forgot the official title of it, but I'll pull it up a little later, because I'm about to pull this up on my phone, and we'll talk about the trailer after I watch it. I'm going to watch it live. I'm not going to stream it. Not on this, not live. I'll do it later when I get when they give a copyright hit on me. I expect it for this. I mean, this is John Wick. I'll forgive you right off on that. Let me set this up, because I saw it popped up while I was working on getting live, and I was like, oh damn, I gotta watch this. And I saw, what was that? Aziz Ansari. What's going on with that? The truth about what happened to Aziz Ansari. Oh man, I should do a story about that, because you know what? I'm not even gonna say it right now, but I'll say it a little bit later. Let me pull up John Wick. There we go. From Fandango's Hot New Trailers. Let me start that off. There we go. And then I'll get your thoughts on it after I watch it. You'll be able to hear a little bit of it, but you won't see what I'm doing right here. So without further ado, let me relax to this thing live. So I'm not going to put anything up at this moment. I'm doing this live. I didn't want to queue up a video yet. I'm not going to do that on the. I'm not going to do that on. You know what? I think I'll listen to it. I think I'm going to listen to it like this. And let's see what's happening here. Come on, guys. What you got? What you got? If I don't have it queued up already, there's always some kind of delay. There we go. Okay. Okay, so this is John Wick Chapter 3. Parabellum trailer. Is that the official title? Parabellum? I don't know. Let's find out. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. I know it sucks for you guys that you can't hear it, but like I said, I'm not going to do this live. What have you done? Shot that dude in the face in front of everybody. The hot table wants your life. I recognize her. I'm gonna have to look up the cast. Addams Family. $14 million bounty. You should probably queue up this at the same time with me if you want to do this with me live. The doctor should try to kill him right there. Stitching him up like 3, 2, 1. Said I'm gonna kill them all. If you want peace, you can't get peace unless we get a peace. Prepare for war. Lawrence Fishburne's back. Did you just throw this knife at me? Ooh, a book? What's up with the horse? That's what's tripping me out. Sophia. Fair enough. Nothing's ever a conversation. John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. That's the official title. And I was reading something about these dogs that it's just killers. Oh, May 17th. Good. I can't wait to check that out. Man, you should have really been watching that with me, man. Because if you weren't, man, that sucks for you. But, I gotta say that was, I don't know if this is gonna be the last one. I feel like they shouldn't end it with the third one. I feel like they should just keep the love coming on that one because John Wick. I wanna say that, if I'm not mistaken, I wanna say that I feel like Keanu Reeves is having more fun with John Wick than he even had on The Matrix. Now, I might be wrong about that. I hope I didn't get the mic too close. I might be wrong about that, but I think he might be having a little bit way more fun with John Wick. If it looks like that to me from the outside looking in, I would be, because it's set in more of a grounded realism. So I feel like I would be having way more fun with that, with the whole gung fu thing that they invented and whatnot. And it just seems like something that's just too killer and too crazy to even imagine. Just like The Matrix, but it's still set in the real world. Like theoretically, this could really be happening, right? I mean, theoretically, The Matrix could too, but theoretically, I feel like John Wick is having way more fun than Neo. And everybody's always talking about who would win out of a fight between John Wick and Neo. Or no, it depends on where. If it's in the real world, John Wick. If it's in the Matrix, Neo. It ain't even a question. Don't even start that again. But it looks like it's going to be real good. I can't wait to check it out. And let me know what you guys think. Comment, blah, blah, blah. But hey, you know what? Let me just stop for a second here and just talk about this. If you haven't already become a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. We answer questions here live. Remember on We Got Your Mail. We'll talk about that a little bit later too. And I want to move on to the next thing. Let's see. So, well, now that we knocked the threes out. Let's get into another thing. I like, well, not a new thing, but rumors and specs. I haven't done a rumors and specs in a minute. So earlier this week, the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer dropped, and everybody was losing their mind because of the news: the black and red suit, the noir-looking suit, the fact that Samuel L. Jackson, who I'll be also mentioning again a little bit later, he made an appearance in the trailer. We knew that he was going to be in the movie from reports that were earlier on. I think it's good that Spider-Man's getting a lot of mentoring from seasoned Marvel studio characters, and it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. It reminds me of the not the current cartoon that's happening on Disney XD, but the one before that, Ultimate Spider-Man, the dynamic between Nick Fury training and trying to get Spider-Man to become the Ultimate Spider-Man. I wonder if they're going to mention that too. I want you to be an Ultimate Spider-Man, and be like on the last one where Iron Man was like, I want you to be better than me. What's the rumor and speculation about? So if you saw the trailer, you know that you saw Fishbowl head right there. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting his name right there. I said Fishbowl, and it just made me. Let me. I can't believe I've just blanked out on the guy's name. I'm just gonna keep calling him Fishbowl because I'm like Jake Gyllenhaal is playing. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna say Hydroman. Oh my God, I'm gonna feel so stupid when I look this up. Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Mysterio. Oh God, I feel stupid. So everybody's talking about what they saw on the trailer with the whole magic thing. So I'm going to say this. There's a couple of things that people are thinking. One, Jake Gyllenhaal might have real magic. Two, Far From Home is taking place before the events of Infinity War and Endgame. Three, they already mentioned that they say that Jake Gyllenhaal might have real magic. Well, no, I already did that. So they're also saying that he's doing the whole I'm pretending to be a good guy until I'm revealed to be a bad guy thing. That's what I think is also happening on here. If you watch the things that I watch, you might be a fan of John Campea on the John Campea Show and Collider and whatnot. So John Campea has already debunked the whole Far From Home takes place before before, Infinity War and all that stuff. But I still feel like it does. It does. And I still feel like Far From Home takes place before that. Now, I looked at him and I said, because look, they're on the bus. They're on the bus. They're coming back to Harvard from a trip. John's like, well, you don't take a bus from the airport. Where are the bags at? You put the bags all the way in the back. They're between the seats. There's another bus taking their bags. I mean, there's a bunch of ways you can explain that. We're coming from an art museum. Well, you could have been coming from an art museum right from the airport. That was on the way from that. They could have had a stop at the art museum for whatever reason. They didn't. Did they specify that they went in the art museum? They were looking around and all that and whatnot. This could be the day after. The trip could have been an ongoing thing after they came back from their trip overseas. They could have got together. Hey, guess what? Tomorrow we're going to the art museum, and then we go to the art museum, and then boom! Oh my God! Almost all this stuff starts happening on an Infinity War. I mean, there's a bunch of ways you can explain it. Kevin Feige is not above trickery and making things look one way, and then turn it out to be another way, just to protect the whole thing. Now, I just feel that. I'm sorry. I just feel like it just makes sense to have it set before Endgame. Otherwise, you're going to get into the whole, why are you spoiling it? Oh my God, Spider-Man technically alive. I mean, we all knew that Spider-Man is not going to die. I mean, die. I mean, he's going to come back. They're going to like mess with the reality and whatnot. But I can't shake it. I feel like it would be better set if Far From Home was set before Infinity Wars and Endgame. I'm sorry. And until I see the movies, I'm still going to kind of believe it. I'm like 50-50 on it. I'm 50-50. I'm open to the possibility, and I'm going to take into consideration what the things that disprove it. Kevin Feige himself said, no, it doesn't. In Infinity War, they said they were coming back from an art museum, not from overseas. Who knows what that whole trip was supposed to be about after we get off the plane here. Hey, it's not over. Hey, remember, guys, you guys go home, wash up. We're going to go to a museum tomorrow. Cool. And then, boom, Infinity War starts. I mean, it's just easy to explain it and throw it in there. I mean, unless you just don't want it to be that. But, hey, I mean, or it happens after the fact. And we just watch all this stuff between this trip to the damn museum and, aliens invading and all that stuff. Fine. That's fine. Hey, fair enough. I'm fair game. I'm a fair man. I know a lot about a little and a little about a lot of things. But is Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, is he doing real magic? Now, the reason why people are asking this question is because Jake Gyllenhaal, when he's doing his thing, fighting the big water monster that could be Hydroman, sand monster or something that could be the Sandman, or a combination of the two. It could just be his illusions, or it could be the real threat that S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to go after. And that's another thing now. The reason why I also believe that it takes place before Infinity Wars, or maybe around the same time, is you got Nick Fury and Maria together, like they are together in the end of Infinity Wars before the dusting and stuff happening. So they're together. Look, I don't know. I still believe what I believe. But look, is that magic real, or is it just a Mysterio thing? I think it's just a Mysterio thing. I think he saw what was happening, or he may have seen something that's happening with these other wizards, maybe with Doctor Strange, probably with another wizard. Maybe he is a failed student who knows of real magic and knows of these wizards. Maybe this is why he's still alive. If what's his name is out there trying to kill all the wizards, too many wizards out there, he's probably still alive because he sucked. He was never a good one. He doesn't know any real magic. He couldn't get it going. You suck. So all you're good at is faking magic. You're not a real wizard. You're not a real threat. You're not on my level. And he's probably like, forget you. I am on the level. I'll make it. If I can't do magic, I'll make magic. I'll make it look real. I'll make it hurt. And that's probably why it has the triangles and the eye in the middle and all that stuff. And that's probably why it looks the way it looks. He might know about these things, Doctor Strange and the temple and all these things. He might know of it. He might not be. He might have been a student. He might not have been any good. He might suck. But that might explain. I'll bring the picture up one more time, and it might explain why the power that Jake Gyllenhaal. And look at the gloves, man. Look at the way it looks like a picture with the square off fingers, kind of like a old school Jack Kirby kind of a thing. The way the fingers are spread out while he's doing the magic. That's a classic comic book pose right there, man. And it looks good. But look, you see the triangles, the squares, and everything that's happening right there, and the color that they chose for him. It looks like that he knows about it. He was a student of Doctor Strange's, a colleague of them, an alumnus or whatever you want to call it. And he probably sucked. He probably couldn't get anything going. Like the way Doctor Strange was trying to get the whole thing happening and wasn't happening. It probably never happened for him. This is what I speculate. This is what I would have said if I was writing. If we want to keep the collaborating and all that stuff going, hey, let's have Mysterio be a failed non-student student with the Doctor Strange storyline. But hey, that's what I speculate. That's what I think is up with it. And hey, prove me wrong. You don't know. I mean, just let me know. Comment and we'll talk about it. And once again, send an email, send it to me, and I'll read it all and I'll comment to most of it. Now, what was I excited about? Reason why I'm late. Okay, I did a review last night, and I saw a little movie that's coming out today. It's Friday. Is it Friday? No, it's coming out today. Today's Thursday. It's called Glass. So I saw Glass last night. Me and Sean, and I gotta say it was awesome. This is not my official review of it. I'll give a little bit of the review later on today. I'll be uploading things today. As you know, I upload on Thursdays and Saturdays. I want to do a live show and make officially that live shows will be Wednesdays and Saturdays. No, Wednesdays and Fridays. With Friday being like a late, like after dark kind of a thing where I won't censor myself as much as I'm doing like right now. So the PG-13 stuff is pretty much Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with the uploads on Thursdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and then the After Dark live stuff with Sean mostly, because he has no filter. It's going to be on Fridays, but because of the review, the screening that we went to couldn't happen. And there's a little special thing that I'm going to show that I'll tell you about in a second. So when I did the screening for Glass, I also I did some interviews as well. I met a lot of people there. We got some good interviews, and after the movie was done, we talked to a few people and got some really funny and fun footage. And it's going to lead up into some new things that's happening with the channel. So I'm going to announce it right now. There is a new channel that I'm working on. It's called iCharacter. And what the concept is I will be doing skits with, hopefully with Joy, with Sean, with anybody who, if you want to collaborate, we're in the Houston area and we can meet up. That's great. And I will be dressing up like certain characters, depending on what the topic is. For example, like I went to the screening as Mr. Glass, and you're going to check that out a little bit later. So we'll look out for that. You'll see what I'm talking about. But in the future, things like, I don't know, whatever the topic is. I might be dressed up like Charlamagne the God on The Breakfast Club. I could be R. Kelly. I could be who else could I could be Velshi from Velshi and Rules on MSNBC. Mr. Glass, obviously. I have a lot of ideas, and I'm gonna do it all. So send suggestions. If you got any suggestions, people say Kanye West a lot. I'm definitely gonna have to do that. I don't know why I didn't think of that a long time ago. But people called me that a lot, so I'll do that as well. And but look out for our characters coming out, and look out for the review that I got coming on. And if you have any suggestions, any comments, concerns, just send it to me. And with that out the way, I'm gonna go to the next thing, and that will be okay. So how do you send something in? Well, the email address is t3medias@gmail.com. So using the email address, if you want to make suggestions, you want to send comments, fine. You can send that to me at t3medias@gmail.com. You can also send it on any of the social media sites. That's T3Medias. But if you want a question answered, if you want something responded to, I'll respond to most of it, even if it's not in the form of a question. But if it's in the form of a question, I really would appreciate it if you use the hashtag WGYM, and that's not Women's Gym. It could be, fine, I'll champion that too. But it's We've Got Your Mail. That's the segment. That's what's going to be happening right now. So what happens on We Got Your Mail? Sometimes, well, back in the day, it used to be that we would get the mail that was intended for other people, and we would answer. But now we're getting a lot of interaction with people, and we're not going to do that underhanded stuff anymore. So I'm asking everybody, if you're within the sound of my voice, send in an email, a tweet, Facebook chat, comment right here on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram, anything at all. It doesn't matter to me. But if you use the hashtag WGYM, it will guaranteed be responded to right here on the show. So without further ado, let's get into the first. What is the first question? The first one, okay. Let me put the glasses on because this is going to be hard. So the first one comes from Kevin Meyer, and he wrote through Twitter. And Kevin Meyer, he writes at T3 Medias, so Deadpool will soon be back at home with Marvel Studios. What do you think the chances are of them keeping Ryan Reynolds and continuing the franchise considering its success, or will they ditch it altogether? Just started watching and love the show. Keep it up. Yeah, keep up the good work. Kevin, I appreciate you, man. Let me just say one thing, dude. It was funny when you sent that question in at the time that you did on the day that you sent it in, because it was literally like an hour before you sent that tweet. Literally, I was having this conversation with Sean, and it was the funniest thing. I was like, dude, we just wrapped this conversation up. So let me kind of rescale what me and Sean kind of talked about. It would be so dumb, in my opinion, if Disney were to ditch Ryan Reynolds. Now, I understand the rules of a reboot, but everybody always said if you're going to reboot Spider-Man again, the one exception right there should be J.K. Rowling's still playing J. Jonah Jameson. I agree with that. Another exception should be that Ryan Reynolds stay for a number of reasons. If you reboot everything, we're going to have a new Wolverine, we're going to have a new X-Men team, possibly, or you could keep the kid, depending on what Thanos does after the snap and when history gets reset. That's the perfect thing about dealing with Thanos at the time we're dealing with them now. You can reset the timeline, you can reset alter reality, keep the kids looking the same way with the actors that we have right now in these X-Men, besides X-Men movie that we have coming out. Keep Ryan Reynolds too. Fine, it's easy enough to be explained. We just don't really mention what happened before, or if you own the rights to it. After the rights get settled this year, you own the rights to it. You can mention it all you want. It's yours. Do whatever you want. But if Kevin Feige doesn't want that, he wants his own version of a Cyclops and a Storm and whatnot, that's his prerogative. The only exception to this rule should be Ryan Reynolds. Why? Because of the fact that Ryan Reynolds has been on this since the early 2000s. He technically, in real life, is Deadpool. I mean, the closest thing that we have to a real Deadpool in real life, the way he acts, his mannerisms, his comedy style, his delivery, his warped mentality, and the fact that he's a good guy and whatnot, and he's very professional, he's good to work with, and he's not doing a bad job. He's crushing it as Deadpool, and he's fun as Deadpool. Plus, after all those years of Fox denying him of this, and the fact that if we merge this, once everything is, hey guys, I got to let you guys understand this. I know they're going to kind of keep the Fox and Marvel teams separate. I don't know if they're still going to show the Fox logo when things begin. I don't know if this means that now Disney can, just for fun, use the Fox intro before Star Wars and stuff. They should. You don't have to show the logo anymore. Just write the words for 20th Century Fox, or we stole it we got it from 26. Whatever you want to do, you don't have to show it at all. But the music should be played, right? Deadpool should also be exempt from all this, not just because of all the technical reasons by Ryan Reynolds, because Deadpool is Deadpool. Deadpool is aware that he's a comic book character. Deadpool is breaking the fourth wall. It's funny. After the snap, once the rights settle on Disney and the Fox merger, because nothing can happen while we're still in negotiations, while they're in talks. Disney's not going to risk losing out on billions of dollars because they breached the contract and went against what the government says you can't do while we're in talks of you absorbing this company. So there is no secret scripts or anything being written down right now, because you can't guarantee that people are going to keep that wrapped up. People love to snitch. And Kevin Feige and all these people will get in trouble. The guys who are in charge of Disney, they are not talking about this stuff. They are not colluding. They're not secretly writing, getting Kevin Feige to write scripts out, because that is a breach of the contract. You cannot act like you already own the property before you own the property. It's still Fox right now. We're just in the talks, and it's going to be a couple of months before that ink dries and it's 100% settled. The second it's 100% settled, then they can start writing out stories and scripts and things and planning for the future and bringing in these mutants into this universe. But that won't happen. There may be some fun things on the internet here and there, maybe some mentions. You alter a couple of and some reshoots and stuff in the next couple of movies that's coming out. Maybe you'll mention a few things here and there, but the plan moving forward has already been laid out real good by Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige already knows the next couple of movies that's coming down the pipeline. You saw that big ass timeline, right? So that stuff is already set in stone. So it's going to be a while before we see any mutants and whatnot, because he has to plan it out and he's got to see where it fits. And if there is no separation, like if there's not going to be a Fox team, even though it's going to still technically be under Disney, a Fox team here, you got the Lucas team there and all this team there and whatnot, these people are still going to be hired and work. If they fire the majority of those people and be like, no, we got this, you guys can go, then it's going to be a long time before we see some X-Men stuff, man. It's going to be some trips here and there, but it's going to be a while. The only exemption to this rule should be Deadpool. You keep that Deadpool team and going. Why? Because Ryan Reynolds can handle it by himself. He just has a new boss to report to Disney. The fact that you can instantly, whether there's a snap or not, reality gets altered or not, he can pull off the mask. He can show it as Ryan Reynolds. Look who survived that snap. It's me. No matter if you can reboot everybody, everybody's recast, everybody's different except Deadpool. Why? Maybe he's more powerful than Snap. He's already smart enough to know that he's a comic book character. He's in a comic book movie. He is aware. He's all knowing. So why shouldn't he be able to withstand the snap, the Disney merger, and all that stuff? But one, it'd be funny as hell. Two, it would make sense. Three, it would not make sense, and it would still make sense, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So, it would. The bottom line is, it would be funny. You wouldn't have to explain it, and you just keep it going. Ryan Reynolds comes in, sees the new Wolverine. It's like, you're not my Wolverine. You're not. He can call that out. They got a new Professor Xavier. It's not McAvoy. It's not Stewart. Call that out too. I've been here since I know I'm kind of new to this, but I've been here long enough to know that everything is freaking weird right now, and especially when they recast Wolverine, the jokes almost write themselves. The second there's a new Wolverine in play, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool has to rip into him about, you'll never be my Wolverine. I don't care if you do wear the original mask and all that stuff. It's going to be a long time before I get used to this, like a new girlfriend kind of thing. No, you don't cook like her. You don't act like, you don't do it like my ex used to do. You don't smell like him. You don't do it like him. Whatever the jokes are, it's all there. And I feel like that's where they should go with it, because it's funny. It doesn't make sense, and it'll make perfect sense all at the same time. And just keep it going. It's easy as hell. So that's my thoughts on it, man. That's my right now. And I appreciate you what you said. That was officially the first. Kevin, you are, and from this day forward, no matter what the changes are, no matter what the rules are, you are officially on the platform, as whenever one of your questions comes in, it will always be read, no matter what. So, because why? I'll tell you why. Because Kevin, Meyer, you are the very first to send it in as hashtag WGYM question officially. So you were the very, very, very first. I've had other questions answered and asked and answered and on the show before, but under these new rules, you're the very first person to do it. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate the fact that you became a subscriber, and I appreciate the fact that you're enjoying the show, and I hope to keep doing it and to your enjoyment. Any suggestions, comments, concerns, always send them up to me, man. If anybody wants to send it again, I'll show you one more time. If you have any, if you want to submit a question into We Got Your Mail, this is how you do it. You have to send it into T3Medias@gmail.com with the hashtag WGYM, or at any of our social media outlets. That's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram. I also have a Snapchat, but please don't do it on Snapchat, because I don't really like Snapchat. I got to get my stepdaughter to be my official liaison on Snapchat, because I ain't trying to Snapchat. I don't like Snapchat. I don't understand Snapchat. It's the one thing that I'm just going to admit that I'm too old for is Snapchat. I feel like that's R. Kelly territory. So no, please don't send a question in on Snapchat because it probably won't get read. Send it to one of these 4 sources or email me. Please email me. Use the hashtag WGYM Women's Gym. We got your mail, and we'll read it right here on the show. So once again, I appreciate you, Kevin, for sending that in. And that's it, guys. Expect some like the changes that I mentioned that are coming to pass, and expect a lot of interviews and whatnot that's coming. I got a lot of things booked, and hopefully you will all enjoy them. And like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know what you guys think. I love getting all your mail and your comments, and I love talking about this stuff. So until next time, let me try to do this the right way. Like it's always like an ongoing joke about how I'm never doing this the right way. So screw that. It's happening for the first time. This is it. Okay, I can't really hear it, but I got it memorized in my head. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, send your comments, and until next time, guys. Peace.